Hey, how you doing? Welcome to this episode of Just Make Game. My name is Michael.
And I'm Hayley.
And we make video games. Well, here we are. We are back with another episode of Just Make Game. These months have been absolutely flying past these days. This month our time has been dominated with item graphics and animations. It's been nice for me to personally get away from pure code for a bit and actually spend a bit of time working on some art.
So for me this month, a lot of the time was still spent making the sprites for the special abilities and the scrolls. I redid the scrolls in a different format so there was more room to fit the symbols, and each scroll has a bunch of different colour variations now. I also finished off the special ability items and books. There are still the passive item sprites to make, but I wanted to shift my focus back to the god mask and have a crack at some of the animation that we're going to need for it. Before I started animating, I made a little 3D version of the god to better wrap my head around how it's going to look when it tilts up and down and moves side to side. I just used blue tack because we had some lying around and it was a really worthwhile exercise. Plus he also looks kind of cute. I'm really stoked with how the animations are looking so far. The colours are all over the place right now to differentiate between the features and make animation a bit easier. I really like how unhinged the laugh animation is, and I know the yawn animation looks convincing because I could not stop yawning while I was watching it back and animating it. I see a lot of animation of the god mask ahead of me in the coming months. There is so much we want to make it do in-game, so there's heaps of work to get done on that.
This month I continued on with the pixel art assets for the absolutely huge variety of melee and range weapons that are going to be available to the player in Commandment. It took ages to work through because there are just so many different weapons available. The weapons are now all in the engine, and I've been spending time working on the generation algorithms that will determine what weapons you can find in each level. There are approximately 80 or so different base weapons and spells available, and there's a whole bunch of prefixes and suffixes that get applied to each weapon and can modify their behavior and their stats. So all up there are roughly 35,000 different combinations available to the player, and with such vastly different effects on offer, that should mean an absolute ton of variety for multiple playthroughs and different character builds. Next month I should have them all generating and working properly, and then I can turn my attention to implementing the rest of the HUD and the user interface. Hopefully that will include a preliminary version of our very friendly god character, and then we can get him dynamically reacting to the player's actions. Last month I mentioned that we had moved and talked about how we'd show our place in a separate vlog type of video. We filmed a couple of different versions of this vlog, but I didn't really want to put any of them up on the actual channel itself. It felt a bit sort of disingenuous and a little bit strange and uncomfortable to be doing a typical sort of YouTuber type vlog thing. So I figured I'd just show you around in this episode instead. That's easier. Let's go! So here we go, this is our new place. It used to be an old shop back in the 70s, but it's been turned into a sort of modern apartment now. It's only pretty little compared to our old place, but it's a lot nicer. This is our living room. A little bit smaller than the living room in our old place, but it's nice, I like it. Kitchen. Bedroom's in there. Office is in here with our wonderful recording setup right there. Lovely. So professional. Bathroom. And that's about it. It's a tiny little place. It's nice. Everything works. It's lovely. Our neighbours aren't crack addicts like in the old place, so it's mwah! Overall, I'm really happy with the speed that we're going through everything. Hayley has gotten a lot quicker and is very much settled into the flow of how everything works. And I'm just so much faster now compared to my sort of working speed on Bannerman. Things that would have taken me months back then are now taking me sort of days or weeks instead. So I'm hoping we can have a pretty decent little test version ready to put through its paces in, you know, about a month or two. But anyway, that's it for this month. Thanks very much for watching this episode of Just Make Game. I hope you all have a very pleasant day.